It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for I shoved a cupcake down my throat right before we went on the air.
I woke up 5 minutes ago.
I love when the sick guy is the one that's on time and early and ready to go here. Jesus Christ, you guys.
Welcome to the Greg Cherry Show. As I mentioned over on Twix, we are kicking this show off. Because something happened that doesn't normally happen with the show, but I do encourage it. We had an off-air donation shortly after the show last week. And thanks to Mr. Dwayne Atkinson, who we missed in the live chat. And thanks to the new rules of the wheel spins, which you can see right here, we are giving ourselves 4 wheel spins to kick off the show. Let's
cool. Big G, you may want to add a headline to yourself just so we don't block your name here when I put this new thing up. The hell did it go? There it is. Can't see it when the thing's up, but that's okay.
The first one's Spinner's choice, but he's probably not here. So
probably not. We can make it Dylan's choice since he's sitting here in the audience.
All right, well, get his choice.
What are the choices again?
Well, we got one entrance at least coming up.
Okay. Dylan, be ready. You're going to choose what Greg's going to do on the air here because it was Spinner's choice and the Spinner's not here. Okay, just be listening. We're live, pal.
Entrances.
Two entrances.
All right, so one from Greg, one from Maddie.
I mean, yeah.
Maddie, you feeling up to doing 75 jumping jacks?
Let's get it, baby.
All right. It's been a minute. The wheel spins.
It's been a minute, and it's my first week back in what, 2?
At least 2, yeah, because you were not. Were you on the? Forgive me, because I managed to watch the whole thing back.
I wasn't on any shows last week, but I also think I had to miss the show before that week as well, right?
Well, yeah. Last week we just had a generic show. The week before was just me and Greg because I was getting ready to go meet MJF, and it was just the 2 of us.
And a lot of cool stuff happened. I mean, Jeff got like 1,000 followers.
Right. Ridiculous.
That was funny.
God bless the world champion.
Also, sorry, Mansfield.
No, we're not. No.
Sorry, MJF.
We're not sorry a friggin' bit. Neither is Max. Neither is Josh, for being real.
No.
Yeah.
No,
he loved every bit of that.
All right. So Big G and Maddie will choose the entrances, and then I guess Dylan's choosing something for me to do, whether that's an entrance or something else. But
all right.
Would you like to split the entrance punishment, Greg? Because I too can do an entrance.
Well, I'm gonna stretch while we figure that out.
I was gonna say. All right, so what are the wheel choices again? Refresh my memory for the boys' sake.
There's wrestler entrance, there's doing jumping jacks and doing squats. Karaoke there.
Okay.
He can call into the show, which means he just walks on camera and says something.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. So, Dylan, the choices are karaoke, wrestling theme karaoke, or just karaoke?
Just karaoke in general. He doesn't.
All right, so it's either Dylan. Pay attention. Okay, you singing the song. Greg singing the song of your choice. Greg doing a wrestler entrance of your choice, or physical torture as far as like jumping jack squats. There you do another those on the wheel spin.
Karaoke, I guess.
What song?
It's Raining Men.
I love it.
Greg, you are singing "It's Raining Men" here when we get to that portion of the show.
Okay. Well, Josh is here.
Josh is here, so it's perfect timing.
Yeah.
In all my gloriousness.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. There you go. There you go for entrance. Glorious Bobby Roode. Somebody.
Okay.
There we
I
go.
do have a robe. I can do Bobby Roode if you want me to.
Oh Lord Jesus!
I mean, shit.
That's fine. All right.
Oh, I'll go get the robe after this.
We're 11 minutes in. It's already a cluster. You gotta love that shit.
Yeah.
Or 5 minutes in, excuse me, because we have the countdown. Oh no! And
Playoff, huh?
yeah, so yeah, we'll definitely talk about it. And apparently, Josh has now been sent to Wham Hal. Like everybody in my circle that's playing this game is already off first week, guys. Jeez, you guys are killing me. I'm not out though. I'm still in. Big G, are you familiar with this trend?
Yeah, I'm already out. They already played it at work, and I was just like, yeah.
Okay, now you work in a retail establishment, correct?
At Sheets, yeah.
That's it, man. Restaurants and retail, that's it. Forget it. You're shut out of luck. For everybody unaware of the game we're referring to, so forgive me here for a moment. I'll find it. I swear to God, I will. Find a quicker hope. There it is. I found it. Okay. Just had to find the guidelines because, you know, these guys are doing their jumping jacks and they're wearing themselves out for our ridiculousness.
For our sake.
Yeah, well, not for my sake. I don't want them to die freaking dying on the air. I need these guys. Here is the unofficial, if you will, Whamageddon 2023. The objective, basically, starting on December 1st at midnight. So if you're like going into the day, is to make it through the very end of the day, Christmas Eve. So 11:59. Go as long as possible. I'm hearing the original, no remix version of Wham's Last Christmas. And as soon as you hear and recognize the song, so even if you see it pop up on your Sirius and you change the channel before that shit starts, you're good.
What if I don't?
But then once you're out, you have to post on social media using the hashtag Whamageddon to inform the world of your impending journey to Whamhalla. Now, there is a courtesy rule, of course. We can't stop everybody from deliberately sending your friends and family to Whamhalla, but the intention here is it's a survival game, not a battle royale. So on my thing, I put don't be a jerk, but for the Greg Cherry Show, don't be a jack. Just don't be that guy. There you go. So, Greg, you said you were out already, right?
Oh, I lost like less than 24 hours after you posted that.
Yeah.
Jesus. Everybody but me in this room. Terrible.
And the funny thing is, like at work, it's not all Christmas songs. We'll play like regular songs, and they'll sprinkle in a couple Christmas songs in between. And as soon as I heard it, I'm like, well, I can't stop.
It's so bad that it's making this form retro. Anyway. Yeah, we heavily encourage everybody playing this game. Go into retail establishments. You're obviously working, GC. You can't have these in, but earbuds, man. Earbuds with the volume blasting. Like, I'm dead ass serious. It's survival, folks. Strive to survive.
Survive if I let you.
I had the Bushwhacker Luke performance in Whamageddon this year. Not quite Santino, but still pretty quickly out.
There is a subtle difference.
Okay. I will need to find Bobby Roode's theme. Give me 1 second. We'll get copyright struck. What?
Well, okay. Well, we had do we have one entrance or two?
Two.
We have two. Maddie is doing Bobby Roode.
And then Greg, you can do our favorite scumbag, MJF.
Well, there you go.
I like that. His theme isn't like copyright protected.
Yeah, MJF's is fine because it's like.
Yeah, I was about to say Dick Deep is a uncopyrighted.
It is.
And he probably did that by design in case he ever goes to WWE.
Yes.
Probably a while now, but fine. All right. You ready?
Yeah, do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right.
I love this theme so much. It's so glitchy. I'm hearing like every third beat.
I can't even hear it, so I'm just going with it.
Yeah.
That's okay. If you can't hear it, we'll get copyright paying, so it's even funnier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, wrong song. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, glorious going in my head, so I was just going with the vibes.
That's it. Glorious in my head. Oh Lord.
I'm still out.
Can we borrow the hose from your sink to get Josh cooled off in the chat room? Jesus. Down, boy.
All right. Well, does MJF follow you, or a bunch of his fans do now? So I will attempt to do the holder of the Triple Beast.
That's right. He's our scumbag.
He's our scumbag. Yep.
He's our champion, by God, because Lord knows I'm sick of Roman Reigns, and Seth's not getting near enough of a freaking credit on the air anymore. So,
Mansfield, calm down. Calm down in the chat. Oh my God.
from New York, Wayne, where the hell Max weighs. He is one half of the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions and your AEW World Champion, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF. He didn't hear it.
Went down to my knees once. I forgot it's on the floor.
That's okay. That's all right.
Getting their 40-year-old knees.
I got that reverse Benjamin. I got that reverse Benjamin Button. My body's like 75. I just look 25.
Yeah.
But how's everybody's week been now that we're got the entrances out of the way? I know we've got karaoke and one more thing to do, but
outside of football, it's been grand for everybody.
Yeah,
I guess football not so much for the rest of the room. Well, no. That's not. No. The Steelers lost too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but they lost Kenny Pickett too. So.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
Hasn't he hurt
During that game?
Yeah.
I was on the road for a lot of that game.
I watched it.
And it got rain delayed twice, or weather delayed, or whatever.
So Pickett had a high ankle sprain injury. He got surgery yesterday. He'll be out 2 to 4 weeks.
Wait, it was so bad he needed surgery on it?
Yeah, he'll be out. The latest he'll be back is the last game of the season against the Ravens.
Oh, like everybody seems to think Rodgers is going to be?
And then I know, Landon Roberts, he's okay. TJ Watt's okay. Minka Fitzpatrick is playing with a broken left hand tomorrow. Najee might be out tomorrow with the knee injury.
That's not good at all.
I don't care about Najee. I like Jaylen Warren so much freaking better. I'm sorry.
Jaylen Warren made me money, so I can't argue with
And one of our one of our guards, Samola or whatever, he has a shoulder injury. So, but we're playing the 2-10 Patriots. Oh my God,
that's a phrase. The 2-10 Patriots.
Yeah, it's one.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad we're doing that because we got the Patriots fan here. What's going to take for you to understand, boy?
Well, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots beat us tomorrow because the Cardinals were 2-9 and they beat us.
Yeah, but 2-10 and they get shut out in New England against the freaking Chargers. Like not even the good LA team.
Chargers just seem like they have bad luck in general.
Yeah.
And somehow
you, Spanos.
Somehow the Steelers are still 7-5 and still we're in the 5th seed in the AFC playoff picture right now.
The weirdest. It feels like it just gets weirder every year, and maybe it's just because the Steelers are always sitting around 5, 6, 7. They never have a dominant record. It seems. I don't even remember when the last time.
Thank you, Davey.
No, remember we had that one year where it was for some reason we were 11-0 like 3 years ago.
It was pandemic year. The day the Ravens screwed the freaking pooch for everybody.
Yep. I still think if that Ravens game would have just been canceled or delayed, it was delayed enough. It was delayed like a week and a half. If that game would have just been canceled and the Steelers awarded the victory, because the Steelers won that game anyway, for the record, then, we would have saved ourselves Bud Dupree getting injured and out for the season, and we probably would have finished a lot better than 12-4 in the regular season, and we wouldn't have had to lose to the Browns in the freaking playoffs. Fair. I'm fine with that game for one reason. It got me to meet Daisy. So
that's fair. That's fair.
There's a very much silver lining to that game. Yeah, so I am not looking forward to tomorrow because I have zero. But then again, it's a primetime game. Steelers seem to play better in primetime.
Who's y'all's backup?
Trubisky.
Well, Trubisky's starting. After him, it's Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, and we signed somebody yesterday too.
Reese McSorley.
Yeah.
I think I would trust McSorley over the other two.
I would trust McSorley too.
Did you see how that boy performed during Pro Bowl last year?
Yeah,
boy can hit his targets.
If they call him up to, I almost said the main roster, but the 53-man.
Dude, I would.
You're so conditioned with wrestling that's how I put things.
Bro, I would cut Mason Rudolph instantly.
May as well start him. I mean, Trubisky feels like a failed experiment at the tail end of his career. Rudolph is good for maybe one game a year if he plays.
And it has to be against the Browns.
You know who I want back is Duck Hodges. Bring him back.
Hodges.
I isn't Hodges playing anymore.
Yeah, I don't think he is either.
They should play Rudolph on Christmas Eve if the weather's bad, just for the shits and giggles of it.
Everybody's sleeping on XFL champion quarterback AJ.
That's right. They are, damn it. Hey, the first XFL champion quarterback ended up playing for the Steelers, did pretty well for himself. Tommy Maddox. So
he didn't start, but he has a ring.
No, but he was a decent pro quarterback.
How much money do you guys think you would have to trade away to get Tommy DeVito from the Giants? I
Too
think what Pittsburgh needs is a true Italian at quarterback.
Yeah, I think it would cost him more than it ultimately be worth if we're being real.
Yeah. So I'm not looking forward to that game because it's probably going to be. It might be. Maddie's gone from the screen, so I can't even say my reference because I was going to reference the Broncos. Where did they come from?
Yeah, right.
The Broncos were on a winning streak for a bit.
Yeah.
They beat and the Bills, which is just insane to think about.
Yes.
Who do the Broncos have this week?
Trubisky, I feel like the monster.
That's accurate. If you ever seen Young Frankenstein, that's 100% friggin' accurate.
Yeah. I was reading an article like Trubisky said he wants to play more aggressive tomorrow night. I was like, okay.
Well, it'd be a start. Jesus.
Good thing you're starting now,
right?
After all those years in Chicago and oh boy.
And he started the friggin' engine 10 years ago, whatever the hell it was.
Mansfield can't talk crap tonight because his Browns lost too.
Browns got beat. Yeah, that was bad.
And the Browns play the Jags this Sunday.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, and Trevor Lawrence is out too. This has been a bad year for quarterbacks.
If the Khan family football team beats the Browns, Josh's going to be friggin' inconsolable all week. It's going to be a thing. That poor kid's not going to do it himself.
It's been a year for quarterbacks.
I mean,
Yes.
he should be conditioned. He's a Browns fan. Like
That's fair.
um,
But he's been so far up Tony's ass about all the drama this year. It's just gonna make it even worse.
yeah. Well, here's the Browns' remaining schedule. They have the Jags on Sunday. The following week they have Chicago, which that should be a winnable game for them.
Yeah.
The week after that they have the Texans, also should be winnable. The Jets, also winnable, and then the Bengals, which if the Bengals were like they were against the Steelers, the Browns have a possibility of winning out.
They do.
Have a very winnable schedule. And the Steelers, who knows? I mean, you spin my wheel to figure out how they're going to perform, because who knows?
Yeah, I mean, we got the Patriots tomorrow. We got the Colts.
We have the Bengals.
The Bengals still, the Ravens, and the Seahawks.
Yeah, we have the Seahawks on New Year's Eve. And then the first game of the new year, we have the Ravens. So,
yeah. I think it's safe to say that the Cowboys game on Sunday is going to determine NFC East, because they're playing the Eagles again, and it's they're going to have a matching record at that point if Cowboys win. So it's just from then on, it's just.
I'm very. The first time I've been on here with you to talk about, because I had the Cowboys winning their game by 6.5 points.
Okay, I'm stuck on the map.
Is somebody watching something? Oh.
Maddie was. I muted it for now.
I did not hear it in the background. My bad.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, I was watching the Cowboys game. I had the Cowboys by 6.5. I had like $20 on them, and they won by 6. So I got screwed by half a point.
You did, dude. I got screwed because I was out at Disney having dinner with my friends, and we decided to go to the Hearthstone Lounge to drink, because that's a wise decision when you're at Disney to spend more money. And the way the Cowboys were playing, 2 old fashions just wasn't enough. They did. They came back. The thing is, though, I missed the end of the game because we realized after 2 drinks, like, oh, I have 10 minutes to get across property to catch my bus. And I learned, gentlemen, a very valuable lesson that night. There is a reason that Olympic runners and sprinters are not also alcoholics.
Yeah, no, Denver losing to Houston, that made me drink on Sunday.
That was a drinkable moment for all. Yeah, that was rough.
That game was horrible to watch. And in terms of parlays, Greg, not this week because I couldn't bet while I was out in Missouri. Missouri, get your shit together. But last week, I had 3 parlays that were all one leg from being completed. And one of them was because Kenneth Walker went down with an injury after his first touch.
Brutal.
That sucks.
So, I actually, I've been signed up with FanDuel for a while, and they just randomly started sending me like a casino bonus. So it's free money. If you're going to give me free money, I'll bet with it. So I played a couple games of blackjack to make some real money so I can bet on the NFL. And like, I'm up to $20 now. So
off of 3 bets. So that's pretty good.
I had money on Cincy to lose, and I had to cash out early because it was not looking good at all. And it obviously didn't because the Bengals won on Monday night. So I got to figure out how to – I made like 3 or 4 different parlays just to get money somewhere, you know. I did hit one of them, so that was nice.
Back on the horse tomorrow with Thursday Night Football.
Yours Patriots, because that spells clusterfuck to me.
I would say take the over on Ramondre Stevenson, and I would take the over on yards for Jaylen Warren as well as an anytime touchdown on Warren.
I have zero faith that anybody's going to score a touchdown tomorrow.
Patriots don't have a run defense, so that's why I say Jaylen Warren at least on the over for yards.
Tomlin doesn't know how to beat teams he should beat. Okay.
You guys have had a very, very bad habit of playing down to competition over the last several decades.
Yeah, I was pointing out yesterday on the sports bar. It's like, or somebody pointed out, and I agreed. If football was just defense, Patriots would be the Super Bowl champions every year. They've got a decent defense. They just can't make shit happen on offense now that Brady's gone and Belichick's apparently lost his mind even more. So
I'm so happy to see the Chiefs doing so poorly.
Well, hey, and Taylor was in the stadium and they still lost, so that bullshit's nullified now. So,
I don't even care. It's just proven my point that it's Travis Kelce and 5 grocery store baggers as wide receivers for the Chiefs.
Damn. Before the show, I was saying I'm predicting the score tomorrow to be like 9-0, just field goals.
I think watching the games on Sunday, at one point the Falcons-Jets game was at 5-8.
Yeah,
that game.
That's like a decent baseball score. What the shit?
After the Lions and the Saints game, which was a very good game to start the NFL Sunday off.
Yeah,
I was subjected to the end of the Falcons and Jets, and I've never been more depressed about being flexed into a game in my life.
Yeah, that sucks. We were out here. They put on I forget what game ended. Forgive me because I wasn't home. But they ended the one game and they started showing the Eagles 49ers game, which was going to be a banger of a game, so we thought. And then they ended up switching the Rams game because we're in LA. But man, I would have loved to. Granted, the Eagles 49ers game wasn't an all-time classic. I'd have loved to watch it happen in person, live as it happened, because beautiful.
Yeah, the Niners and the Lions both came out as if they had vendettas going into this week.
Good, because somebody needed to knock the Eagles on their ass, and they did with gusto. I'll never root for the 49ers, but man.
With the rain delay, I got to watch 3 games all in one.
Yeah,
I got to watch the beginning of the Steelers. Then I went to Houston and
Denver.
Sorry. Then I went back to the Steelers. Then I went to the end of Houston and Denver. And then it went to overtime with Tennessee and Indianapolis. And then went back to the Steelers game.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So was it just pouring during the hard Steelers game? Or was it lightning?
It started pouring, I want to say, right before halftime. And then they delayed it at halftime. And then right in the middle of the third quarter, like the 7-minute mark, it just started downpouring again. And they had lightning and thunder in the area. So
that's bad. I guess lightning shit.
Can't have players outside.
And I feel and Pickett got hurt before any of that even happened.
Right.
So, but I feel like TJ Watt, I don't know, they had to tape his ankle up during the game, but I think he's okay. But sitting in that locker room for 30 to 40 minutes, not doing anything, and then playing on a wet field is it can be injury prone.
So, I do have some actual sad, depressing news when it coming to football. I don't know if you guys heard. Tight end Hayden Hurst of the Carolina Panthers, he suffered a really bad head injury during the November 9th game. Adam Schefter is reporting, per Jerry Hurst, Hayden Hurst's father, he has been diagnosed with post-traumatic amnesia by an independent neurologist. And they're saying it's going to be a slow recovery. They don't know when or if he'll be back. Hayden Hurst is only a 2-year veteran in the NFL.
Yeah, he's just a baby.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. Hey, this is a full contact sport. Shit like this happens, and this is the reason that there's so many things getting implemented to protect the receivers and everything like that. So big prayers going out to Hayden Hurst. Hopefully he can make a full recovery, because I don't think I've ever heard of post-traumatic amnesia from a head injury like that.
I don't know if that would be. Yeah, that's rough. I know when I had my traumatic brain injury, there was some blips, but not diagnosed as that. He's 30. He's 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, 30 years old. He's only been in the league since 2018.
Yeah.
So he's been around for 5 years, but you don't want to see that happen to anybody.
No.
He's kind of bounced around a bit too. So
just like the DeMar Hamlin injury, just freak accidents that happen on the field, and
yeah, Hamlin is still. I haven't seen Hurst's injury, so I don't know. But Hamlin's thing will still be just what the hell of my football fandom.
Well, Greg, let's go back to Ryan Shazier. I mean, he can't play football anymore.
No,
it's true.
He apparently can't keep his wife anymore. Did you see that news?
Yeah,
no, I didn't see that.
So apparently he cheated on his wife, which is interesting considering he can't use his lower half. But
oh my god! Yeah.
But no,
there are ways to cheat without actually doing the thing. So
hey, man, just because the chair isn't mobile doesn't mean he ain't.
I mean, he can walk. He can fully walk. He just can't play the game anymore.
Oh, I thought he had
not that game anyway.
From waist down.
Regardless,
either way, he's still a cheating asshole.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's a very
I thought he got the Darren Drozdov. I thought that's what happened to Hayden.
No, not quite that severe.
No,
although
Shazier was able to walk again afterwards.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure too.
A lot else.
Yeah.
Football.
When it comes to that indiscretion, it's talking about controversy. How about that college football ranking, not Greg?
Oh, I was at a hotel whenever I saw the ranking, and I got upset for Florida State fans.
I will say this: I am not a Florida State Seminoles fan.
I'm not a Seminoles fan by any stretch of the imagination.
They
got robbed.
Long history between Notre Dame and Florida State, and controversy surrounding.
Oh yeah.
Fuck Alabama.
Oh yeah.
Bama lost a game throughout the season, and it was in conference, right? The game that Bama lost was in conference?
No, they lost to Texas.
Okay. But I mean, regardless, that's still, a ranked team.
Yeah. So
how they beat Georgia and then got committed into the Final Four is baffling.
There is a valid explanation, but Greg, go ahead and finish what you were going to say first.
My thing is, Florida State should have been one of the top 4 teams. If you keep Texas, fine, but Texas is 4. Texas 4, Florida State should have been 3 at the very least, because they are an undefeated Power 5 conference champion. You cannot sit here and tell me that conference championships or conference alignments mean a damn thing if you can win every game, you can win your conference championship without your starting quarterback, and you're still left out of the top 4. Why would everybody wants to throw the argument Notre Dame should join a conference? Why? There's no point.
There's no point for them.
Conference that Florida State won. There is no good reason for Notre Dame to ever join a conference. That is the reasoning. That is what I will point to, because if you can keep a conference champion, an undefeated conference champion, out of the playoffs and put in Alabama, who lost to one of the teams who's already in it, what's the point of everything? Thank God they're going to 12 teams next year, because this is bullshit.
Hey,
go ahead, Jeff. The explanation that I heard, and I tried to hear from different point of views, and unfortunately, one of the shows I watch on the regular is moderated by Conrad, who was just all about it. Good grief, Conrad Thompson's just giddy as a mucker feather, right? Yeah, exactly. So, but to the point of, and again, he made it in a Roll Tide way, because that's who Conrad Thompson is. But Florida State, yes, they won the conference championship. Yes, they're undefeated. I think the committee made it about their quality of competition. And here's my bitch about that. If that's how you're going to do this, then you NCAA, college football, college playoffs, whatever, need to level the playing field. Because if you're going to sit there and have this system in place and still go with the money teams that are going to get tickets sold at stadiums and ratings on television, then that's bullshit. If you want to have the best teams, and you're going to say, well, Florida State's not the best team because they're not, playing the quality of competition, then that completely negates the necessity for college football the way it's set up right now. Because some programs in some regions of the country are not going to be as good as others. That's just the nature of the beast.
Mm-hmm. Here's my even bigger problem with this. Alabama was a decent coverage on 4th and goal from the 31 against Auburn from not even being in the top 6.
Exactly.
If Auburn holds their coverage on 4th and goal from the 31-yard line, this conversation doesn't happen, and Florida State's already in.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Alabama, who nearly lost to 7-4 Auburn in the Iron Bowl, that they deserve a spot in the top 4 because they squeaked by in that game.
No, they did. They did.
Or be damned. Auburn should have won that game.
They should have.
So I've never really liked the whole committee playoff thing. If I were to do this for the 4 teams going in, I'm going based off of overall record. So no team that isn't undefeated is going into the Final Four. And it has to go off of not just point differential, but strength of schedule. Because a lot of these teams went undefeated, but they were playing bottom of the barrel teams.
Georgia!
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So,
sorry, Shivani.
And again, it should have been Georgia. They still lost. I wouldn't have them in. I wouldn't have Bama in.
I wouldn't have any SEC team in, quite frankly. Michigan is undefeated. I can't stand Michigan.
I know you can't stand them, but what was their strength of schedule and how badly did they beat their opponents?
I mean, they kind of squeaked by Ohio State. And
they really did.
But they're undefeated. They were highly ranked. They would have had to lose at least one, and they kind of dominated a lot of their competition. Their cheating scandal be damned, whatever. They are in the top 4, and it's hard to argue, as much as I can't stand that team up north, as Ohio State fans would say.
That's right. That's cool up north. That's it.
Washington, the Huskies absolutely deserve their spot, no question.
Oh, yeah.
Texas having beaten Alabama, I'm fine with, because, they won their conference as well.
Right.
My biggest gripe, and yes, this is me being completely biased against the Crimson Tide of Alabama. And quite frankly, it's biased against Georgia too, because the SEC coming down to the SEC championship and Alabama squeaking by Georgia, which they did have the lead for a lot of the game and they pulled out the win.
Yeah.
But I just don't get how you can look at something like that.
So
if you think Michigan versus Florida State is going to be a blowout, so what? You can't judge the games before they happen.
No.
You have to let the action play out on the field. You never know. Florida State could have matched up incredibly well against Michigan because they haven't faced each other. You have a couple weeks to game plan. Florida State could have surprised the world and gone on. My biggest problem now is Michigan and Alabama play each other. I kind of hope they just collide, implode, and go away.
Right. Right.
Texas is just a title, because there is no national ad.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay.
So Shane's said that Georgia should have got benefit of the doubt as back-to-back champions.
Bullshit.
I still don't even ride with that.
Okay.
No.
Here's another thing. If you want me to put my bias to the side, here's another one. Notre Dame during the COVID season was technically a part of the ACC. They went to the ACC championship because they were undefeated, and they got their ass kicked in the ACC championship game against Clemson. Notre Dame still made the top 4. Me, as a Notre Dame fan, thought that they should not have made the top 4.
We talked about that during that year, you and I.
I felt there was no reason. They got annihilated by them. They got annihilated by Alabama in the playoff game.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you have to look at what's in front of you. And the committee makes some poor decisions. I think that year, putting Notre Dame in the top 4 was a bad decision because I had watched Notre Dame lose to Clemson. Yes, they beat Clemson earlier in the season in probably the best college football game I've ever watched.
Right.
But that doesn't mean if you have Trevor Lawrence back and Trevor Lawrence and Clemson, walk the field with friggin' Notre Dame, you can't keep them in.
No.
I feel like a lot of these committee members just, they think that Alabama is just riding the wave of Nick Saban's success in past years. We cannot look at past success to determine who belongs in the playoff. You cannot go off of name recognition, because if Alabama went 6-6 and you have the freaking committee talking about them, you'd be like, okay, who's paying off who? That's completely irrational, and that wouldn't actually happen. But this,
you never know.
You should never, ever, ever leave an undefeated team out of a championship conversation.
No.
Ever.
But again,
to a team like Florida State.
Yeah, but again, I agree. I'm not a Florida State fan, but I'm sure I'm not a fan of the way this bracket laid out. The argument, that's forever going to be is what you said earlier, Matty, strength of schedule. Florida State has not had to, beat, the quality of opponent that, and again, please God forgive me for praising the Crimson Tide, but having to face the teams Alabama faced. Georgia went almost undefeated, but their schedule was ridiculous.
Dog shit.
It's dog shit. And, they're the champion. They're undefeated except for one game. Well, yeah, but they played freaking, number 400 or whatever. I'm, exaggerating, but they talked all year on all those damn podcasts I listened to, not just Conrad, but about how Georgia's schedule was such weak sauce. And it's like, okay, yet they were still in the conversation. If we're going to sit there and have these talks, they shouldn't even be in the damn chat.
Now, let's talk about a team that actually, for absolutely no reason, had a ridiculous strength of schedule issue. CU.
Yeah.
A team that was 1 win last year. We had to basically run the entire West gauntlet of USC, Oregon, fucking Washington. We played all of them and got our asses handed to us.
Yes.
We still got wins throughout the year against some game competition. But looking at a strength of schedule of like what CU had and then looking at what UGA had, it's nowhere even in comparison.
No, it's not. And that's the whole problem with the college football's setup. Is that it just for my, and again, I full disclosure, I'm not a college football fan. I only watch the college football games religiously when they get to Rose Bowl and the end of season, right? But if you're going to have this, we're the national champions. And for me as a sports fan, you got to earn that shit. And the strength of schedules for all these teams and the way this is decided is going to be more talked about than whoever comes out of this last 4 teams as champion.
Hell, look at the final 2 from last year. Georgia versus TCU.
What the actual
TCU clawed their way to that game.
Yes.
And then got the ever-loving shit stomped out of them.
As they should by Georgia, to be fair.
But TCU had a great strength of schedule. TCU made it all the way through, and then they played the final boss. Yeah.
But Georgia's only the final boss because of their weak schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they're always sitting there at the top of the Mushroom Mountain because they've been flicking off fleas instead of actually tackling proper Goombas. Seriously.
I don't know. I think that's one of the main reasons why I can never get into college football.
It's been a worse thing in recent years, G, than it has been, in the past. And I forget when they established. I think it was during Obama's first run. It's just it's been that way the last, pretty much since for Dylan's life. So almost 16 years. Okay. It's just been even worse. Like we have these conversations every year now. It's like,
Yeah.
Could you imagine if the NFL went to a committee as opposed to the Super Bowl playoff?
Oh, there'd be
riots.
Something similar to what the NFL has.
Well, it feels like they're trying to get it to where the playoffs are going to be a 16-team playoff regardless. So
you have 131 teams in FBS football, and you 12 next year. That'll make.
I do like that they're stretching it out a little bit too.
Yeah,
I hate the fact that strength of schedule plays such a big factor, because the teams that are facing those teams, you have to realize college football schedules these games 4, maybe 5 years out.
Yeah, these games have been set in stone for a while.
Yeah, you don't know how well those teams are going to play during that time.
Yeah.
So it should not be the fault of the teams that go undefeated, that the teams that they face didn't live up to their hype. That is
exactly.
Colorado.
How can you hold that against them? And somebody said Alabama's, like, I'm looking at something that says Alabama's strength of schedule is 3. Let me look at Alabama.
It was 3?
Yeah, like they have third highest strength of schedule.
Alabama maybe this year, but sure as shit not Georgia. Georgia's schedule was absolute horse shit. It was awful.
What was CU's strength of schedule? Because I really want to know now that we're looking that up.
You guys
at Alabama's.
Yeah, while you guys are looking that up, it's Greg, you were talking about the committee. We should get the NFL referee hiring committee and the college football decision committee in a room and just watch the room explode. All right, problem solved.
Yeah.
CU, a team that had 1 win last year, had the 5th hardest strength of schedule the entire season.
So I love that Alabama has the 3rd hardest strength of schedule when they play teams like Chattanooga and Middle Tennessee.
Hey, man, them Middle Tennessee boys.
Listen, I understand that Alabama has a bunch of ranked teams that they played. Like they played Kansas State, they played Texas. They lost to Texas by 10 points. Alabama escaped Auburn by 3 points. They beat Georgia. I have a big problem with the fact that Alabama beat Georgia by 3 points and leapfrogged them so much that they're in the championship.
That is a big. Again, we're gonna crack on Georgia's schedule, but the fact that Bama just barely beat them and they jumped over them as much as they did again. The committee's bullshit. Bottom line,
committee's bullshit. Committee's bullshit. I think all 4 of us agree there.
Yeah, it's awful. But you know what? You know what's not bullshit, Greg? Tonight's Dynamite.
Tonight is Dynamite.
Copeland and Cage for the TNT title in Montreal.
Oh my God! Yeah,
they're in Montreal.
Yes, they are at the Bell Center.
That has to be main event.
And I know they're at the Bell Center because my buddy Rick Knox, referee for AEW, also a Kings fan, passed by their display case and pointed to the 92-93 Stanley Cup and goes, "This one still stings." I'm like, yeah, it does. But you know what? If they have Knox referee that TNT title match, then we've got all kinds of hockey fandom in that match, and I'm here for it. Anyway.
So, yeah. I wanted to throw that up there because just in case the new rules haven't shown up.
We do still have your leathery voice to get done, right,
yes.
Greg? Or did you already sing Rain and Men?
No, hasn't yet.
I kind of forgot about it, to be honest.
I didn't.
No, of course you did. Couple things I do want to announce, though, coming up for the Greg Cherry Show. In a week and a half, December, I believe, 16th is a Saturday. 4:00 p.m. Eastern will be the very special Greg Cherry Show Christmas. We're not doing it on Wednesday night like we normally do. We're doing it on a Saturday, just because I think that'll be a good time. We got a few guests coming up.
Okay.
And this will be next Saturday, yes?
That's next Saturday.
I will be available.
Yeah. So it's going to be a good time. Maybe we'll get another Boogeyman entrance going. We got some really fun stuff to do on the show. Not just talk, not just hang out, not just have a good time. We are going to hopefully play some Jackbox games.
Oh,
I like
need
those.
anything for that.
And hopefully whatever computer I use actually holds up.
Right.
Because I'll have to play off my phone or off the PC, one of the two.
Yes.
But also, next month, January 17th, is the second coming on the Greg Cherry Show. Luck at the draw. Going to be fun. I can tell you right now, just to confirm, Maddie and Daisy are both in for round number 2 of Luck of the Draw.
I have to win, man. I can't cover myself in strawberry syrup this time.
There you go. I will hide this. But yes, Wednesday, January 17th, 7 o'clock Eastern, Greg Cherry Show Special Edition with more contestants this time.
I'll be there defending my title.
So it's Maddie, it's Jeff, it's Daisy. I will not be participating this time because it is incredibly hard to produce and play at the same time.
Accurate.
Oh, and JJ, I should be available for Christmas karaoke. Is that this weekend or is it next weekend?
Cool. That is actually. Let me go into show mode while Greg cues up. What do you call it? It's Raining Man.
Raining Man.
Yes. All right. So, first of all, if you missed last week's debate between JJ and Josh regarding the yay or nay on CM Punk returning to WWE, please go watch that. It's in the archives across the multiverse of media, mainly my channel and JJ's channel. It may have been on Greg's channel too. I don't remember if we used Greg's channel or not. If we did, forgive me, Greg. You can check out JJ's recaps of WWE and AEW on television every Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. Tomorrow night, I'll be back with Talk Wrestling, of course, the flagship for now. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific. Friday night, we'll have a watch-along of Tribute to the Troops because we didn't realize it was just going to be another SmackDown, and we already put it in the schedule and we're committed. If I'm being 100% honest. CM Punk will be there, though, so there's that. We had to switch around the scheduling on this one. We are doing Impact's Final Resolution first because of familial commitment on JJ's end, and then NXT Deadline on tape delay replay, we're going to call it, will be at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, which means open mic night this week will be a Sunday brunch edition coming up on Sunday at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Dad's Not Always on Wrestling on Monday will be our top 10 Christmas songs that are not about Christmas. So, Winter Wonderland, My Favorite Thing, etc. And then on Christmas Day, we will have a taped episode or a pre-tape episode of Dad's the top 10 Christmas songs about Santa Claus, and you can vote on my Twitter feed. It should be the pinned message still. You at home get to vote for the best song of the bunch because it's either Here Comes Santa Claus or Santa Claus is Coming to Town, because JJ and I did not want to have the burden of choosing between those two songs because it was too great a burden to carry. So you guys get to pick and we get to lambast you for it. So there. As far as the Christmas Eve karaoke, Maddie, December 23rd, the eve of Christmas Eve at 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 Pacific. We're going to go into the start of Christmas Eve day officially, and then, of course, New Year's Eve. Open mic episode 100. All the things going on. Everybody's invited to both of these, by the way. Christmas Eve, Eve of Christmas Eve karaoke, and our last show of 2024, because it's going to be a celebration across the board.
What if
Thank you very much.
What if I only know one Christmas song?
We know song.
What's up?
Did you say you only know one Christmas song?
Yes, and it's not even a good one. Y'all ever hear Xmas by Corey Taylor? If y'all haven't, go listen to it. That's what I'll sing for karaoke.
Okay.
As long as it gets super chatted and requested, Maddie, and you're on the wheel, if you're going to be there, we will definitely spin and see if it comes up for you.
I should be available for both of those. So
cool. Good stuff.
So I realized while looking at the lyrics to It's Raining Men, I only know one single part of it.
It's the chorus?
I will not, yeah, pretty much. So I will do that briefly because that's all I know. It's raining men. It's raining men. Amen. And that's literally all I know.
There you go. And
There you go.
I apparently botched. It was James and JJ. I said Josh because I was going so fast on the CM Punk debate. I do apologize. So if you missed the debate between James and JJ, check it out. It's in the archives over at the Championship Multiverse Media. Jesus Christ, easy for me to say. Anyway, I'm still getting hoarse. That's okay. Made it through. Yay me. I did all the plug. Woo-hoo.
Fantasy football teams, before we go off, entering their playoffs here soon, depending on how your league goes.
Yeah, I probably won't be. I'll probably miss out on my playoffs.
You're missing that. I just barely clinched my berth in my fantasy league. So
yeah, I had a bad stretch of luck down stretch, so not for me. But
oof, sorry.
Anyway, that's gonna do it for tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. What's up, Jeff?
I forgot completely because the graphic isn't in here. I actually deleted it out to try to make space on the phone. We also had a great open mic night Saturday night with our buddy Gino Rivera, independent wrestling veteran. I completely forgot to replug that. We had so many people on there. I didn't even think about replugging it, but we were proud of that. We had him on for almost 3 hours. Just him, letting Walter and everybody in the panel ask questions. Noah was there to ask questions. So it was a really insightful perspective from what they would call a journeyman back in the day. He drives all over the country, flies over the country and works. So definitely worth a listen. It is a deep dive. It is a long dive, but I definitely recommend anybody that's a wrestling fan who wants to hear about the life and the road of an independent wrestler, check that shit out. It was an amazing night, Saturday night, and I could barely talk as a result. I'm sound worse now. But yeah, check it out, please, everybody.
All right. And with that said, we are going to head off the air to watch Dynamite. Enjoying Edge. My goodness. Adam Copeland versus Christian Cage. You called him that for 25 years. You can't.
No, yeah, right?
Yeah.
We could call him Ledge. For
Ledge. No, it's funny you mention him because I think on behalf of everybody in this room and across the viewership, I think Adam Copeland can say exactly what we feel about the committee at large that decided on this championship bracket.
Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. Go fuck yourself.
I'm just glad YouTube isn't subjective to FCC fines because we would be screwed. Anyway.
It was a short clip, so we won't get pinged for it.
I will never pay for saying the word fuck on air. I will go.
We're not paying a fucking cent.
All right. That is it for the show tonight. Thank you for watching. Tune in next Wednesday and, of course, next Saturday for the Great Cherry Show Christmas show. Until next week, have a good night. Don't be a jag, and we'll see you next week on the Great Cherry Show. Have a good one.
Until next time.
The Jags can go ahead and win this week just to set Josh off.